Absolute pleasure, Mr. Gill, to be talking to you on what I consider a very, very important occasion for VECV as a company because it marks a very, very significant foray into the small commercial vehicle segment. This has been much awaited, I would say, by a lot of customers, a lot of people in the industry. What does this moment mean to you and for your company as well?
This new Eicher Pro X Series, which has been a good introduction into small commercial vehicle segment. So this opens up a huge lot of opportunities in this growing segment of 2 to 3.5 ton GVW range, which is basically the rapidly growing e-commerce segment, FMCG segment, parcel and courier transportation, and such kind of applications in the intra-city and the city applications, the last mile delivery transportation. That is something which is a large opportunity, and with this introduction of the new Pro X Series, this is a very exciting moment for all of us, especially the way it has been created and the way a lot of customer insights have been embedded into making it a far more efficient vehicle.
Right. Eicher as a truck brand in India, truck and bus brand, traditionally you've been known to be a very strong player in the LMD space, right? And of course, for the last few years, especially with the entry of Volvo, you've heavily focused on the HT segment as well. So now SCV has obviously been a vacant area for you, and now you finally have a product. It's an electric product as well. Can you take us through the timing of this entry? Because as I told, I remember asking a lot of your management colleagues on why I should not place in this space. Can you help us understand a bit about the timing of this entry into the small commercial vehicle space?
See, it's a rapidly growing space when it comes to this particular segment. Within the small commercial vehicle segment also, the 2 to 3.5 ton segment is growing much more rapidly. If I talk of numbers, about 8% growth over the last 7 to 8 years, despite whatever challenges which there during the COVID period. So which is significant enough. So it's a large enough space. Further growing, if you talk about e-commerce, for example, one of the drivers for this kind of a growth, it has been growing even during COVID times. Okay. So and at a good rapid pace, upwards of 20% to 30% in various years, over the last 7-8 years now. So this is something which is also underserved. That's another important element out of that. It's growing. The efficiencies of logistics when it comes to this last mile delivery is still quite basic. It is also because of the kind of basic products and services which are offered in this segment. And that lends a huge opportunity to an organization like ours, where Eicher has always been known for coming up with innovation in their products and services. So coupled with the customer-centric development approach, and that has been a real hallmark when it comes to this ground-up small commercial vehicle Eicher Pro X Series, which has been co-created with those logistics service providers in this last mile delivery space. And on top of it, which has been a pretty good journey for the last 17 years since the joint venture partnership has happened between the Volvo Group and Eicher Motors. So the technology space has also helped us embed all those learnings from the customers into the product and the offerings that we are making today.
All right. And the first product that you're going to unveil is an electric product. Yes, you have plans for other fuel options as well. How important is the overall electric revolution that we are seeing in the market globally, very much in India as well, and in particular in the smaller GVW category? How important is that a factor to sort of motivate you to say, hey, I think this is a space we need to work on?
When it comes to our commitment is pretty high, strong on sustainable transportation. So we had already forayed into electric buses. We were also the first to introduce our 5.5 ton truck, which is the first and only in India. And so we also found that when it comes to sustainability and the electric adoption, it is quite highly feasible given the fact that you need ecosystem, charging infrastructure also as well in the urban and semi-urban areas rather than the long haul and the rural areas. So when it comes to those city centers and those city clusters, so this is one area where the sustainable transportation can be paced up faster. And after the buses, this is the other segment, which is the last mile mobility segment, where electric adoption can actually be quite faster. We have seen that in particular segments which are used for commercial transportation, including three-wheelers, and be it e-commerce, be it deliveries at homes, in residential societies, be it in sabji mandis. So all that parcels, couriers, so those kind of last mile services actually demand something which can help the cities much faster, and also can be supported for rapid electrification if I may say so. All the charging point operators are also mushrooming and coming up in all those clusters. It is facilitating that entire move. On top of it, the government has also been quite progressive on promoting the sustainable transportation, be it FAME earlier and then the PME drive now. So there are many more positives which are coming both from the market per se, and also the government facilitation, and on top of it our own ambition to have sustainable transportation in the country.
Brilliant, right? So, I mean, overall looks like an exciting time to actually be in the market, probably, right? Can we talk a little bit on the customer side? I mean, since you're probably interfacing with them a lot as well, how are customer mindsets, how is that changing? And Eicher as a brand, how do you ensure you offer the right value to them, be it the value as in financial value of the truck, value added services as an experience? How do you ensure this is right at top?
So let me first focus on the Pro X Series, which are introducing now. So since it has been co-created with the customers, and there have been a lot of insights. When I'm saying that this segment has been underserved, it is lot of experts are already there in the market as transporters, who are using their own expertise of transportation despite not having that kind of a better product or a service offering, they have been able to manage it in this environment. And with this rapid expansion, if we really need logistics efficiencies, then we have picked up some of the ideas or inputs from them and tried to embed it into our vehicle and offerings to support those experts. We call it the expert makes an expert. Okay, so our truck also has become an expert, and we have used that intelligence and that tacit knowledge which a lot of experts in the market for the last mile delivery are using. Let me give you some examples. I mean, for example, there are people like we gave the largest cargo body space in this segment, because that's what a lot of people were explicitly asking for. But the unsaid need was also of actually packing it well. So it doesn't matter whether you give long space. People load up the length of the truck. But then to load up completely the cubic volume, you need to have less air spaces left out. So we saw some experts who were doing it extremely well. And we tried to learn from them and embed it to it and to using technology. So the three things which has actually got embedded into this is the Eicher's strong innovation culture, coupled with the customer-centric development approach, the co-creation part, and third is the technology intervention, which we have been going pretty strong for the last decade and a half. And combined with these three, so we gave a small technology solution such as like a cargo monitoring camera inside a container, so that if there is an empty airspace, that can be filled up much better. Then other simpler insights of using the parking brake on the right side, making it really a walk-through cabin practically for the driver, making it easy for the person to relax and sit inside the cabin, making it very visible. Some of the players are used to commercial vehicles in this segment, which actually does not have visibility in front of the driver for a couple of feet. So this is a very simple insight, but our cabin design and our 4 degrees of freedom of the driver's seat, they help a driver to sit very close by, because when you're driving in a traffic condition in a city, and that's what we are talking about in the last mile delivery, there would be motorcyclists, bikes, or various other people on the road. You should be able to see how close they are to your vehicle to drive safely. So this is one of the small safety elements: safety of the person, safety of the vehicle, safety of the goods. Okay. There are many such inputs which have come from those customers, those drivers, users, who have given those inputs, and we have tried embedding it into our product and offerings.
Fantastic. Another angle, question on the same angle of customer. India has traditionally been considered low cost and all that, but that has been changing. And right now we're seeing this go to a slightly different level, where it's no longer only about initial acquisition cost. Yes, it is a commercial vehicle, so cost is important, but it is very much about the total operation cost, maintenance cost and all that. How do you see the customer perspective change, I mean, as a very key player in this space?
So you're right that ultimately, being a commercial vehicle, people buy it for commercial reasons. So it should make commercial sense. So and commercial sense includes the initial acquisition cost apprehension as well, although that accounts for 20 to 25% depending upon the kind of model that you're talking about. Rest is the operating cost at times. Okay. Here, so we are known as Eicher Trucks and Buses for being efficient in our running. When it comes to diesel vehicles, traditional vehicles, it is the mileage ka badshah. That's a tag which is attached with Eicher. And that's only because we have been providing much more fuel efficient trucks and buses for decades together now. Okay. On top of it, the vehicles should run more. With improving infrastructure in India, also norms like GST, etc., which is stopping those borders which used to be there on cities and octroi limits and state borders. So it is becoming possible for people to run more. So you need trucks and buses, and you need services which help you run more. And for that, we call it the uptime part. Okay? And that's where last decade has been a game-changing thing for the Eicher Trucks and Buses on the uptime story. Last 5 years ago, we also set up the India's first and industry first uptime center. We also introduced in 2020 all our entire BS6 range of Eicher Trucks and Buses with the fully connected trucks and buses with my Eicher app and Eicher Live Solutions. So those are the things which helped people to earn more, to leverage the technology or the superiority of the product. So one is to give a superior product, but if in the due to the various challenges in the actual execution of that or actual running of those transportation, if we are able to overcome that with the help of technology, that's what exactly has been the success so far. Same thing we are trying to do with our Pro X Series here. When it comes to picking up, let me take one more example of like some of the people in the cold chain who transport ice creams, and they said that okay, I mean at the time of loading point they checked the temperature, and it was 7 degrees. At the time of unloading also they checked the temperature, it was 7 degrees, but in between the ice cream was melted. Okay. So and it got refrozen. But then that's not what they want. So they want to monitor the temperature over the life cycle. So they use multiple solutions. I shared with you, they are experts. So how can we support those experts in their journey rather than making extra efforts, putting in extra cost out there? So if I build in a temperature sensor which displays it on the inside the vehicle, also can be connected through telematics back onto a mobile app. So my Eicher app gives you that reefer temperature out there. It becomes easier for that expert to run in business and focus on some other expertise further. So these are the small things that we have tried to do. Run more. Similarly, we are known for fuel efficiency in diesel trucks. The same way in our all new 100% electric Pro X Series, we have best in class range efficiency. So how much range do you really practically cover in the same load body conditions, same traffic conditions, and in how much kilowatt of battery that you charge. So these are some of the things that we make sure that the customer is able to drive the value, and to that level the cost he would be ready to pay for.
Fantastic. I mean truly mind-blowing. If you actually just look at what technology has done over the last few years, I mean, we must really take our hats off to companies like Eicher and Volvo as well for the way you have used the technology and you're enabling and facilitating your customers. I mean, hats off. So let's zoom out a little overall. Range of offerings, Eicher range of trucks across different segments, a new segment being born right now, Volvo range of products as well. Where is VECV positioned? I mean, why would you think you're probably best positioned to grow and evolve in the market?
See, we have been leaders in light and medium duty trucks, which I'm talking about 5 to 18 ton trucks range. So we have a leadership with about 35% market share, in some of the markets upwards of 50 to 60% as well. We are the preferred brand when it comes to that, be it on fuel efficiency, be it on the uptime support, be it on maintenance cost and various other factors, including options and customizations that we do for the customers. So it's a very natural progression when it comes to small commercial vehicles, using the learnings from that space and our journey over the last 3.5 decades in that area, where we have developed leadership to use that into small commercial vehicles. On top of it, the small commercial vehicle space itself is underserved and it's growing. And when we have taken the insights from the customers, we have customized and also reduced our journey of our learning cycle, which we had in our light and medium duty trucks, in this small commercial vehicle segment. Okay. And of course, the other areas and segments are also growing for us. Just to share some figures, the trucks industry this year has been a little less buoyant. I mean, it's been about 7% dip in the trucks industry. Buses have grown. Overall, trucks and buses, when I talk about 5 to 55 ton segment, other than the small commercial vehicles, it has dropped by about 2.5% on a YTD November basis. And while we have grown by about 1.3%. So this is something which is improving market shares in all the segments, in all those areas. Similarly, on buses, it is growing. So we have always been strong on school buses. We have many industry first features in school buses, safety features in school buses, and we are the leader and the preferred brand in most of the markets. We've also forayed into staff buses a couple of years ago, so more than a decade now, where we have actually strengthened our position. And now in route permit and intercity also last couple of years ago. So when Volvo Bus India was integrated into VCV 3 years ago, so that time we also picked up a lot and we introduced the Eicher range of intercity buses. So there have been good learnings from there. And today we offer 13.5 meter intercity buses, coaches as well, which are there, and including sleeper coaches, including luxury coaches as well. So that is the segment, and we have been growing in all these segments. Similarly, when it comes to the topmost end of heavy duty, we are present in the highest horsepower in the mass market area. Only Volvo Trucks has a better offering in India, and we have a 350 horsepower offering there, which is a benchmark on uptime. And more importantly, it is not just the product and offerings that we are talking about. Our uptime journey has changed drastically. One is on the technology front. Secondly, on the network and availability of spares and workshop facilities where the customer wants it. We have been adding almost 2 setups to service our customers, 2 touch points every week for the last 3 years. Okay. So which means that even during the COVID period of 2020-21, we added 75 touch points. Okay. And that is helping us a lot. In fact, before the sales ever starts in a territory or an area or an unrepresented area or less sparsely represented area, first the service takes a pitch. Service availability, parts availability, and lots of other technology interventions even on parts. A lot of technology interventions on ensuring, securing parts at various touch points. We have about 80,000 SKUs which get shipped every month of various parts across India. So we have an automated algorithm-based system which automatically orders from various places based upon consumption patterns, and various other inputs that we give. So that's where we use data even for supplying and ensuring parts in that place. Telematics is also helping us a lot in trying to map which kind of vehicles are running and hence which kind of parts might be useful where. So we do that heat mapping exercise regularly and we try to see. It was a very good revelation during the CNG exercise, because even where there were no CNG pumps or CNG trucks supplying, and they were filling it up through CNG cascades. So because the price difference between a CNG and a diesel as a fuel was pretty high. Okay. So we use those inputs to stock parts specifically for CNG in the pockets, even where there were CNG trucks not expected to ply. Okay. So just using technology to leapfrog in making sure better efficiency, better uptime, and host of modern features which can be embedded through technology and make the life of the driver and the fleet owner better.
Fantastic. Fantastic. It's like a full-fledged buffet offering, right from starters to the ending. One last thing on the Coco dealership outlets that you have, that you oversee as well, and a few words on how is the powertrain business functioning to wind it up.
So, the company operated retail operations was started for some strategic reasons, and some of the learnings that I can share about was when we roll out something for a real differentiated customer experience, it becomes very good and easy if you are yourself running that retail operation, so you can see the impact of your policies, the impact of your offering, that how does a real customer really experience it. Okay. So one filter goes away of your channel partner to learn that, and that learning cycle becomes faster. So this has been our biggest gain when it comes to that. Secondly, even we could develop more channel-friendly policies to really serve our customers better. So when we talk of differentiated customer experience, we started that journey with our so-called Retail Excellence Initiative in our company about 5 years ago. And we started with better services and better parts availability. And today we have encompassed it for all the touch points and whatever moments of truth the customers would have with that Eicher brand. Okay. So that journey also was fueled up to see how we can pace up some of the elements and still give better customer service in remote areas. Sometimes the organization as a company can actually afford to experiment in some of the pockets and find out new retail practices as well. So that has been the main journey, although we have a very good enterprising dealership team which has been there with us for decades, and our network expansion is fueled largely by the private entrepreneurs who are actually spreading the wings across. True. And on your question on the Eicher Power Solutions, so we have been pretty strong in engines. Right from the Eicher's startup, when we made the India's first agricultural tractor in 1959. So when the Eicher tractor was made with a single cylinder air-cooled German engine, which came from Germany. Okay. So that was the one strength. Moving up to the collaboration with Mitsubishi Motor Corporation of Japan, and Eicher Motors was formed for trucks and buses, and we got that platform, which we today call as an E483 engine platform. Okay. And that was highly fuel efficient, a much more robust German engine, okay, which requires less maintenance, a highly fuel efficient engine. Then we had other forays with engines, right from Royal Enfield acquisition to, so the engine business by itself, an understanding grew. With the Volvo Group joint venture, which is now VECV. So at VECV, for the last 11 years, we have been the sole suppliers of the medium duty engines of 5 litre and 8 litre to the Volvo Group, making it in India and supplying to over 40 countries in the world for the Volvo Group requirements. And that has been a different design change on durability, reliability, longer life out there. And today it is used in multiple brands within the Volvo Group outside India as well. Okay. So that has been a huge journey. So we thought, why not use this engine expertise also into other than the trucks and buses areas. So that's how the Eicher Power Solutions business is. And there we supply to some of the OEMs in India who make cranes, who are into construction equipment. I'm not naming all of them, but then like Volvo Construction is one of them. And then some of the largest crane manufacturers in India, the top 2 crane manufacturers are also using the same VEDX engine or the Volvo Eicher engines or the E483, E494 engines. So that's business by itself. On top of it, then there are gensets. So we have a good range of about 30 kVA to 160 kVA genset engines, so which we supply in India. They are known for its 2 things, fuel efficiency and reliability. So some of them are for standby, but some of them are for actual continuous use, including mobile towers, including some of them we have exported to very harsher conditions in Qatar or Kuwait. In Kuwait, it crosses 50 degrees. And we have seen it being run for 19 hours a day as well. Yeah. So that's the strength of an Eicher engine. Why not use it for purposes? And that's a growing business that we have. It's a pretty small business today, but that's another growing business that we have.
Yeah. Wonderful. Anything else beyond this you would like to add, Mr.
Yeah, the Pro X Series that we have introduced today, actually, as I mentioned, that it is a combination of the Eicher's innovation strength with the customer-centric development approach, the co-creation that we call it, and along with the customer insights, and coupled with the technology which is enabling it to make it better. Okay? And we now are offering this in the all-electric range right now in 3 to 3.5 tons, and it is offered with the customized solutions that you would have seen that. Okay? So there are customized, fully built-up solutions from the company, which makes it easier for the customers to start their business once they buy the truck. Okay. Then they are fully connected solutions. They are uptime enabled solutions. And it has best in class range efficiency, best cargo space available cubic meters for the applications of last mile delivery that we are talking about. And host of small, smart, intelligent features embedded after learning from our customers to make it a safer and a comfortable drive for the drivers, make it much more efficient logistics. And that's how we want to support this, the experts in the market already with our expert truck, Pro X Series.
And you've aptly named it as Pro X as well. I mean,
yeah, that's the expertise which an expert meets an expert.
Yeah. Right. And to add to it, to conclude, it's also a very exciting sort of a phase for you as well. I mean, wishing you the best.